You open your investing app, markets are down again, your portfolio's red, your paycheck already disappeared into rent, bills, and subscriptions you forgot you signed up for, and suddenly you're asking yourself a quiet but uncomfortable question. Should I really still be investing right now, or should I be saving more cash? Because on paper, you know what the internet says. Time in the market beats timing the market. Cash is trash. If you're not investing, you're falling behind. But in real life, your emergency fund feels thin, your expenses feel fragile, and every unexpected bill feels like it could knock you over. And that tension between what you're supposed to do and what actually feels safe is where most people quietly get stuck. Welcome to Boring Finance, and I spend way too much time thinking about when saving becomes more important than investing. If you're someone who feels torn between putting money into the market and just wanting a little breathing room in your bank account, without hype, without panic, without trying to time anything, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up. This helps you out. Because here's the thing, this isn't about choosing saving or investing forever. It's about timing, and most people get the timing completely wrong. There are times in your life when saving money is objectively a better financial decision than investing it. Not emotionally, not psychologically, mathematically. And yet, this idea almost never gets explained properly. Instead, we get slogans: invest early, max your accounts, don't sit in cash, which sounds great until real life shows up. Look, the advice to invest early exists for a reason. Historically, the stock market has returned about 7 to 10% annually, depending on how conservative you want to be, after inflation. That's real. That's powerful. And if you invest $500 a month for 30 years at 8%, you end up with around $745,000. So far, no lies detected. But here's what most people don't realize. That math assumes you can stay invested. And staying invested is not a math problem. It's a psychological and liquidity problem. Let me paint a very normal scenario. You invest aggressively. You keep minimal cash. Your money is working. Then, your car needs a $2,000 repair. Your rent increases. You lose your job. Or your income drops unexpectedly. According to the Federal Reserve, nearly 37% of Americans can't cover a $400 emergency without borrowing or selling something. That's not a budgeting failure. That's a liquidity failure. And this is where the investing advice quietly breaks. Because when you don't have enough savings, investing stops being long-term and becomes forced short-term. Here's where it gets really interesting. The market doesn't hurt you when it's down. The market hurts you when you're forced to sell while it's down. Let's say you invested $10,000. The market drops 30%. Now you're at $7,000. If you can leave it alone, historically, you're probably fine. But if you need that money, you don't just lose market returns. You lock in losses, you miss recoveries, and you permanently shrink your financial base. This isn't bad investing. It's bad timing driven by lack of savings. Let's compare two people. Person A invests $10,000, keeps only $1,000 in savings, faces a $3,000 emergency, sells investments during a downturn, locks in a $3,000 loss. Person B invests $7,000, keeps $4,000 in savings, handles the emergency without selling, leaves investments untouched. Even though Person A invested more, Person B ends up richer, not because of returns, but because of resilience. Now you might be thinking, okay, but cash doesn't earn anything. True. But cash has an invisible return. It buys you time, flexibility, better decisions, emotional stability. And those things compound just as aggressively as money does. Psychologists call this cognitive bandwidth. When you're not stressed about money, you make better choices, including investing choices. Here's a mistake disciplined people make. They hear, be aggressive when you're young, so they invest everything. What they don't account for is volatility in life, not markets. Jobs change, expenses spike, life happens. And when savings are too low, investing becomes fragile. Fragile systems don't survive stress, they break.
Saving becomes more important than investing when a single unexpected expense would force you to sell investments. Your income is unstable or unpredictable. Your fixed expenses consume most of your paycheck. You're investing money you might need within 3 to 5 years. Market volatility affects your sleep, not just your portfolio. At that point, investing more doesn't increase wealth. It increases risk of failure. Now, you might be thinking, but what if I miss out on gains? Yes, you might. But missing out on potential gains is very different from guaranteeing real losses. No one goes broke from slightly delayed investing. People go broke from being forced sellers. Here's what most people don't realize. The goal isn't to invest as much as possible. The goal is to invest as much as you can safely leave alone. That number is different for everyone, and it changes over time. Here's a boring but effective approach. Build 3 to 6 months of essential expenses in savings. Separate emergency money from investment money mentally. Invest only money you won't touch during stress. Increase investing after stability improves, not before. Reevaluate whenever income or expenses change. This isn't conservative, it's durable. Almost every long-term successful investor you admire had one thing in common early on. They survived. Not because they timed the market, but because they didn't get knocked out of it. Saving isn't giving up on investing. Saving is what allows investing to work. It's the quiet foundation nobody brags about. And yes, it's boring. But boring is reliable. If this video helped you think more clearly about your own timing, give it a thumbs up. It tells the algorithm this kind of calm, honest finance content matters. And if you want more explanations about money without hype, without panic, and without pretending everything is always optimal, subscribe to Boring Finance, because boring is how you actually win.